All right, let's dig into a question that I'm sure you've thought about, a problem that seems to be everywhere. Why are there so many open jobs, but it feels like nobody has the right skills to fill them? We're going to explore a really smart model that's trying to fix that.
I mean, you've seen it, right? Help wanted signs are everywhere. Businesses are practically begging for people, but at the same time, they're struggling to find applicants who have the skills they need. It's a really strange paradox. So what is actually going on?
Well, it really boils down to this one simple idea. There's a gap, a major disconnect between the skills people have and the skills that employers are desperate for.
And look, this isn't just some small bump in the road. We're talking about the modern skills gap, and it is a huge challenge for the economy. Technology is just evolving so incredibly fast that the workforce is really struggling to keep up.
So what's the solution? How do we actually connect the people who need jobs with the jobs that need people? Well, you have to build a bridge. And in the world of employment, that bridge is called workforce development.
So let's get really clear on what that means. Workforce development, it's not just another training program you sign up for. Nope. It's a much bigger, more strategic approach. It's about zooming out, looking at an entire industry, and systematically building up the skilled workforce that area needs to really succeed.
And a really strong workforce development program? It's always focused on 4 key goals. First, you've got upskilling and reskilling, teaching new skills. Second, it's building a reliable talent pipeline so employers aren't always scrambling. Third, and this one is absolutely crucial, it's about actively removing the real-world barriers people face, things like childcare or transportation. And finally, it has to be about economic equity, making sure everyone gets a fair shot.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does it actually look like in practice? Let's take a look at a fantastic case study, the Acanum model. They've really put these ideas into action in a powerful way.
The real genius behind the Acanum model is that they get it. They understand that the skills gap is a complex problem, and you can't just throw some generic, one-size-fits-all program at it and hope for the best. You need a targeted approach.
So how do they target their efforts? They do it by creating different tiers, where each tier is designed for a specific group of people with their own unique needs. They're essentially building a custom bridge for every single journey.
Let's look at a couple of quick examples. First, just imagine someone trying to build a new life after being incarcerated. The kind of support they need is incredibly specific.
So the reentry tier does way more than just offer some tech training. It provides really intensive support services to reduce the unique barriers these folks face. So the goal, the outcome, isn't just about getting a job, it's about finding sustainable employment, which we know helps dramatically reduce the chances of reoffending. Okay, now let's shift gears to a totally different path. Think about a senior veteran. They've got years of leadership, of discipline, and now they're trying to transition back into the civilian world. Their needs? Completely different. For them, this tier is all about mapping the incredible skills they already have, like logistics and leadership, to high-demand tech jobs. It builds on what's already there with advanced certifications, creating a direct pathway to high-paying careers. And here you can see the whole picture. It goes beyond just those 2 examples. You have a general workforce tier, a highly specialized one for individuals in drug and recovery programs, and even a business tier for companies. Just notice how every single one has a different focus and a specific measurable outcome. I mean, just look at this contrast. It's amazing. On one hand, you have the business tier, which works inside companies to upskill the people they already have and help keep them. On the other hand, you have the drug and recovery tier, providing absolutely life-changing support for people on the path to recovery. That's what a truly targeted approach looks like.
So it all leads to this question. Why does this targeted, tiered approach work so much better than a generic program? Why does it win?
Well, as one analysis puts it, it's because these efforts aren't just generic, they're data-driven and highly effective. Because each tier is so specific, you can actually measure its success. And that transforms workforce development from just a nice idea into a precise system that is designed for maximum impact.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway here. The people, the jobs, the skills, the barriers, none of it is one size fits all. So the solutions can't be either.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. The Acanum model shows us what is possible when we get specific. So what if we applied that kind of thinking everywhere? What if every single barrier to meaningful employment had its own custom-built bridge? Just imagine what that could do for our economy and for our communities.